It's really interesting, isn't it, when this team under Mikel Arteta hasn't won anything. This is a totally different team than the FA Cup winning team from almost 5 seasons ago. And the snobbery in our fan base sometimes is astounding to me. I understand. Who doesn't want to win the Premier League? There's a generation of fans that haven't even seen Arsenal win the Premier League, a generation of fans that didn't see Arsenal play in the final of the Champions League. We, as a fan base, some of us even turned our noses up at the Europa League. You know, the semi-final loss to Emery, then the final loss to Chelsea. Some fans thought that the Europa League was beneath them. But in order to win big trophies, it has to start somewhere. You need to build a winning culture. And the winning culture that some generations have known is completely evaporated. And a new generation wants instant gratification and has expectations. And there's no doubt Arsenal Football Club should be winning the Premier League, but we haven't won it for 20 plus years. So the expectation and just to and you know the notion that we should just win it, it just shows you how difficult it is. Now look, I'm not making any excuses, but it took Liverpool 30 years to win the league again. Look at Manchester United right now. How many Premier League titles have they won since Sir Alex Ferguson left? A big fat zero. But like Arsenal, they've put band-aids on their problems in terms of winning the big one by winning domestic cups. But what does that do, right? Winning 4 FA Cups didn't help us in the Premier League. But that's because we had a weak backbone. We weren't prepared. We had a strategy where finishing top 4 was it. And whether that was infused for financial reasons, yes. Arsene Wenger, yes. We became a victim of our own kind of objectives. Now, I don't think there's any fan out there that can say that we're not competitive again. We're the only team that have been close to Manchester City for the last 2 or 3 seasons. And this season it feels and it hurts because Chelsea on a resurgence. They're having a 22-23 Arsenal season. Liverpool, everyone thought they'd fall away after Klopp, but they haven't. Why? Because they have at least 4 or 5 world-class players in a backbone and a title-challenging team. And they have a really good manager who's come in and been able to just tweak things and keep them going on this run. So winning a domestic trophy, what will it do for us, right? Some of our players may have won at other clubs, but they haven't won together. They don't know what it feels like. They don't know what it tastes like. And they don't know what it takes because they haven't done it yet. If you win the Carabao Cup early March, you've got 3 more months left of the season. Are you telling me I win a darts match against my mate last night? I can't wait till I play them again because I want to whoop them again. I beat my mates at Yahtzee the other night. We as individuals like to win. We like to beat our mates at golf. These players, they're professionals. If you win that trophy, it's going to galvanize you to want to taste it more, to want to do it again. It becomes a habit. It becomes addictive. Right now, we don't have any addiction. Our only addiction has been mental weakness because we keep putting ourselves in these moments and we haven't been able to close the deal. So yes, the Carabao Cup is important. Yes, it's important for Mikel Arteta to be illustrative of a manager who's evolved to be a closer. And yes, it's important for these players. If they win together, it might, I'm not saying it's going to change Saliba's mind from maybe going to Real Madrid one day, but when you win together, it brings you closer. And you might just want to do it again with the same players and say to yourself, you know what, if we can do this, we can one day win the Premier League. So for me, it's very important for the culture, for Mikel Arteta, and for these players.
Amen, Soph.
Yeah, man. I love that. I thought that was class, and so did the chat. I agree with every word. I don't know what you boys think of this, and jump in, any of you. I honestly believe this season, if we win a trophy, even if it is the Carabao Cup, and we compete or challenge, and I'm talking about to the end, not, we come second, but we're 15 points behind whoever wins it. I honestly think that's an okay season. I honestly do, because we can say it's been successful because we've done that at the part of it. And I think that what Sophie said there, which is key, is that if you do that in March, you might have a bit of an understanding and a little bit more momentum and definitely some confidence brewing and some installation of winning mentality to go and do it again in May. So that's where I'm at, people. If we have people said to me, what's your minimum expectation this season? I said it's to deliver a trophy and to challenge, because that's what Ten Hag was not doing. He won the trophies, but they were coming, well,
Exactly.
they were awful, absolutely awful in the league. So that's my minimum expectation, is to win a trophy and to challenge right to the end, man. But what do you boys think?
Go on, Hooks.
I was gonna say, for me, it has to be a major. I'll be so honest, man. Whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, I'm old enough to have gone through not only some of the glory, but all of the pain. All of those 20 plus years of not lifting the Premier League, all of it. I've gone through all of it. And I feel like it's sort of like I don't know, it's like, I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place, because in one sense, I can acknowledge, like, Arteta has been able to build a squad that is now competing. But I also feel like if he doesn't win it this season, it's only going to get harder. Like, I don't feel like it gets any easier from now. Like, Man City, yeah, they're falling away, but they're probably gonna, invest in January. They will 100% rebuild in the summer. So then we have to worry about them coming back. Liverpool on an upward trajectory. They're probably going to dive big in the summer as well. Chelsea now on the resurgence. They're definitely going to dive big in the summer. They dive big all the time. And then, you've got a sneaky dark horse in Manchester United under Amorim that they're going to be building up and cooking something over there in Manchester as well. So I just feel like if we don't win it this year, we're going to have to do something that Arsenal doesn't really do, which is invest heavily in the summer to get ahead of the rest of the pack, which I don't see us doing. So don't get me wrong. I want to win the Carabao Cup, because the last time we won it, I'd be a liar to say I remember it, because I was like 2-3 years old. So I want to be able to do this for the Carabao Cup, and I will do it. And I want to be able to do this for the FA Cup again, and I will do it. But I need the Premier League, man. I need the UCL as well. But the UCL, that's a dream.
You're not the only one, though, Hooks. So this is the thing. A lot of people in the chat are like, what? You're not the only one. I know so many people that are like, nah, not enough. Got to be a Champions League or a Premier League. That's cool. That's their opinion. That's what a lot of people are like that. They're like, it's been this amount of time. We've spent this amount of money. I want to see it. And that's not my opinion. I think
Dan, did Pep Guardiola turn his nose up at the Carabao Cup?
Never. Neither did Jose.
So, Sophie, I was just looking at the list of if you look at the Carabao Cup, EFL Cup, whatever the hell it was called in the last 10, 15 years, go and look at the winners and come back and tell their fan bases it's not an important trophy or not. It blows my mind with Arsenal fans when they poo-poo it. And I get the whole thing about the Champions League. I was old enough, believe it or not, to remember our last European trophy, and Sophie and Dan will remember. It's a long time ago, but we're not decorated in European history. Yes, I would love to wake up tomorrow and see, the Champions League outside the Emirates, but the reality is it is a cup competition, and any team can on their day win it. Porto back in the day with Mourinho, and obviously in the Milan side under Mourinho as well. So cup competitions are like that, but there's no divine right in terms of getting the biggest honors. But I just find it very, very, very strange. If the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United, and Chelsea can take the League Cup seriously, I don't get it. I just don't get it at all.
And those are teams also with European pedigree. We do not have European pedigree. And this expectation, look, I actually think we've got more chance of winning the Champions League this season than we do the Premier League, just as the way Arteta's playing and the way he's kind of built things out. But those teams have won in Europe. And of course, we want the Champions League, so we don't have to continually be thrown darts by Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City now who've done it. That's the issue we have. It's our ego. Our ego as fans gets in the way of what the reality is and what we should think is possible, right? And winning this trophy is a start. Now, you tell me if we end up, I don't know, Tottenham still, if there's an Arsenal-Tottenham semi-final or an Arsenal-Tottenham final, these fans who are speaking now, watch them want to win it. Watch them want to win it,
100%.
and watch how they'll react if we lose a semi or a final to Tottenham.
Could you imagine?
I
Exactly.
think what it is as well, that those that don't want to win it, or that's harsh, not those that don't want to win it, those that don't see it as an importance of winning it are the ones that were laughing at Man United when they won it, and the ones that were giving it. Now they can't dare go, I want to win it now. Whoops, and I look rather silly. That's the problem we got. Man, just say it how it is. It's a trophy. Whoever wins it, fair play to you.
But Dan, you know what it is? Us as I'm talking about Arsenal fans specifically. You can't pick and choose. Like you said, you can't laugh at Man United for winning the the League Cup. But then when we're in it, you know what? I want the Champions League or the league. We all bloody want it. My 8-year-old nephew wants the Champions League or the bloody Premier League, and he's 8. Like we all feel the same. Like, come on, man. Like,
man.
It's like the reality, and like I said, our European heritage is not great. We lost 4 finals in a row in Europe. If you go back over the history books, like, come on, this is Arsenal Football Club. Our European record is atrocious, man. It burns me, Dan. It burns me.
I'll play devil's advocate because I've tweeted that I don't care about the Carabao Cup. And what I mean, I want to win the Carabao Cup. People were asking in the chat why I went to the game last night if I don't care about the Carabao Cup. I go to pre-season friendlies. I don't care if we win them or not. And it's not about like I want us to actively lose the Carabao Cup. I want us to win. I just don't particularly care if we lose. And most clubs are like that, right? And so we say, are we snobs? Brentford haven't won a major trophy in their history, and they benched their 3 best players last night against Newcastle in a cup quarter.
I don't understand it.
But it's because no one actually cares about the Carabao Cup. And that is the reality. If you look at the clubs, Liverpool went even weaker than we did yesterday. They didn't even take Salah and Van Dijk with them. They won it by a goal. Because they don't, and you'll say, well, Man City.
It's not because they don't care, Rory. It's because modern day football. This pandemic of resting players, which actually this started with Sir Alex Ferguson when his Manchester United skipped the FA Cup one season to go play in this stupid Club World Cup competition. It's not a case of them not caring. There's too much at stake to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
So it's about caring more about other things. It's about prioritizing,
caring about money and prioritizing money and staying in the league and having all of the benefits that come with that fiscally. Than it is about if those Brentford fans went to Wembley and won the League Cup. Trust me, it will mean a lot to them. It's just about money.
Would it mean more than going back down to the Championship? Probably not. So that's the thing. Everyone has priorities, and the Carabao Cup is the least priority. It doesn't mean you don't want to win it. It just means that, for example, now we will have, if we'd not won yesterday, we would have a 10-day break at the start of January and a 10-day break at the start of February. We no longer have that. What impact might that have? We probably won't know. But the fact is, even if you go back and look at the City side that won it, 5 years in a row, the early stages up until the semi-final every year, they were playing the academy. They were playing kids. Now, they had a good enough academy. They produce so much talent that they're capable of going through the early stages and getting to a semi-final or a final. But the point is, if you ask their fans during those early stages, if they were in a title race, do you want to prioritize this? The answer is no. So it's not snobbery, I don't think. It's just that for me, at the end of the season, if we've not competed in the Premier League, and we've not gone far in the Champions League, but we've won a Carabao Cup, that's not a successful season. You might say, yeah, we won a trophy. The Carabao Cup is a trophy for the sake of winning a trophy. And when people say, we've not won a trophy in 5 years, so we have to care about it. So if you wouldn't care about it if we hadn't won a trophy, if we had won a trophy in the last 5 years, then you don't care about the Carabao Cup. You just care about being able to say, we won a trophy. And for me, that's, that it is. If they added next year another trophy, right? Let's say they added another domestic trophy, which they may well do because money's in it, and they said, this is a trophy now. If you win this trophy, that counts as a trophy. Like, would you then want to win it? Yeah, you'd want to win it, but would you care if you didn't? No. That's the devil's advocate, anyway.
Might be a generational thing too.
Absolutely.
You know what? I was literally just going to say that because I grew up winning that trophy. So it means to me, very sentimentally, I remember those days. I remember those memories. I was very young at the time. In fact, I was only about 7 or 8, I think. But I remember thinking, wow. And then the next year we won the Cup Winners' Cup, which people will think, what the hell's that against Parma? Who cares about that? That's just a rubbish Champions League. Well, it weren't to me when I was celebrating it as a young kid. So I think it is a generational thing. And when people have grown up saying that this Carabao Cup gets in the way, this is just a worthless cup, it's a Worthington Cup once, then it's a Carling Cup, then it's a Carabao Energy Drinks Cup, it's just a pointless thing. Well, like, if it was, then we wouldn't be playing it. They just get rid of it because there's enough games that we play already, right? So I think it is a generational thing. And, you know, Rory's younger than me, unfortunately. So I can remember growing up and winning that trophy. So it means quite a lot to me. I remember George Graham, Paul Merson, Ian Wright, Kevin Campbell, bless him, all these guys celebrating it. And not one of them, whenever I've had the fortunate meeting of any of those names that I've just said, have never gone, oh, that one, yeah, we didn't care about that. Trust me, go watch the celebrations. They cared, man.